Hello, beauties. I hope you are all having a very super Sunday. Please excuse the ruckus in the background. Grandbaby and her mama are not getting along at the moment. Anywho, this is just a piece on our book. What happens when women say yes to God. I did get through chapter 1 yesterday. I'm going to get on chapter 2 in a little while. That first chapter is entitled A Soul That Longs for More. If we're all completely honest with ourselves, at some point you begin to realize that there just has to be more. You may be looking at your job, at your circle of friends, where you live, as in your house, or even maybe your city. Even, especially your roles in church. And you sit back and you think for a minute, God, there's just got to be something more than this. This can't be all there is for me. This particular chapter definitely struck a chord with me on that one. I've been in that place for a while now, just kind of wondering, God, what else is there? This can't be it. You didn't give me all these gifts for nothing. You didn't put me in this place for nothing. This little bit of mediocrity cannot be all that you have for me. So, she started out talking about an experience that she had with someone on a plane concerning giving them her Bible. And it was one of those situations, no, God, I don't want to give you, I'm not giving my Bible to anybody. And the question that hit home with me was, how many times do we tell God no? And sometimes it can be the smallest little thing. Go give so-and-so a hug. Say hey to such and such. Don't eat that cookie. Don't drink that. And we like, no. I don't want to hug them. I ain't saying hey to them. I want the cookie. Well, that's disobedience. How many times, has God said, well, this is what I need you to do, and we don't do all of it. We do part of it. Okay, God, you want me to get involved in ministry at church? Well, I'm going to get involved in the usher ministry. I'm going to keep quiet over here in the corner. I'm not going to speak like you want me to speak. I've always felt like partial obedience is total disobedience. And that's a sin. Telling God no in any way, shape, form, or fashion is a sin. And it is a huge hindrance to getting the more that you long for. Oftentimes when God tells us to do something and we tell him no, it's because that something is causing us to step out of our comfort zone, our happy box, our comfy place. We have this little box and it's all decorated and it's comfortable. It's exactly what we want. And when God tells us something, that means we got to come out of the comfy box into the scary world. You will never get where God desires you to be if you can't come out of that box. This is something I myself am truly learning personally. Once you get to know me, I'm a clown. I cut up. I have a good time. I'm observant. I love to talk, just not particularly in front of people. I'm having to step outside of my comfort zone. I've taught an adult Sunday school class, which those of you that I really talk to like that, you know how big of a jump that was for me to get up in front of folks. And yeah, okay. I deal with little folks all day long. I can do little folks. Big people is crucial. But I had to step out of my comfort zone. I got pushed even further out when I was informed that I am a full-time backup Sunday school teacher. I have to go to review every week, and I have to be prepared at the drop of a dime to teach. Tip ain't, you want me to do what? You want me to do who? Yeah, okay. But I understand that in order for me to get to the more that I desire, I have to be obedient to that, and I have to accept that step, and I have to step out there and do it, and I'm trusting God for it. Am I going to have all the right answers? No. Is everybody going to like me? No. Do I care? No. I had to get to the point where I prayed fervently that God would deliver me from people, so I wouldn't care what people thought. Every now and then I have to remind myself of that. They don't matter. The opinion of people don't matter. It's not about what people say. It's about what God says. If God said do it, do it. He'll provide. He will make a way. And he's got you. But the key is to say yes. Say yes. Be a yes woman. God needs you to do this. Yes. God wants you to do that. Yes. God doesn't want you to do. Yes. You have to be a yes woman. in everything that God requires of you. Now, I looked at it and I was looking, excuse me, I'm moving around over here. I was looking and I read on chapter 1 on page 14. Lysa says, each day when I wake up, I pray a very simple prayer even before my feet hit the floor. God, I want to see you. God, I want to hear you. God, I want to know you. God, I want to follow hard after you. And even before I know what I will face each day, I say yes to you. This simple act of surrender each morning will prepare your eyes to see him, your ears to hear him, your mind to perceive him, and your heart to receive him. This is how to live, expecting to experience God. How often do you expect to experience God in what you do? Most of the time we don't think about it. We go about our day, we do what we do. 90 times out of 10 we're running like little psycho monkeys. It's just some everything going on, and we're not truly, if we're honest, expecting to experience God. So even in the smallest of things, because we're not expecting him, it becomes this huge thing when he does something. But if you really, really think about it, he's always there. He is in every aspect, and sometimes it is the smallest little things. We miss those things because we're not in tune. We're not saying, God, give me your eyes. Let me hear you. Let me see you. Let me smell you. Let me touch you. I need to know you're there. You need to make it more apparent that you want to know he's there. And it is in that time that you will begin to see him in the smallest, even the most mundane task of the day. You will see God's presence and you will become even more grateful. You will seek even more. You will long it. Once you get that taste of God, you want it. You want it more because it feels good and it's awesome. Looking in my notes, and y'all excuse me, I'm looking off to the side because I'm looking at my notes. I wrote stuff down for myself. Don't be afraid to be honest with God. He already knows anyway. You might as well go ahead and tell him. Tell him. Pour out your heart to him. God, I am jacked up. God, I'm angry. God, I'm overjoyed. God, I'm hurt. God, I'm confused. I don't get it. Tell him. Tell God. He wants to know. He already knows, but he wants you to talk to him. Communicate with him. Open those lines. I had a friend tell me, she reminded me actually, talk to God like you talk to your best friend. I talk to God like that. And I promise you, I can see in my head God sometimes sitting up in heaven laughing at me going, this girl right here is a fool. If she don't sit her tail down somewhere. Because I would literally say, okay, look, God, look out. Nah. You said, da 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 da. This is how I feel. This is what I see. And this ain't gonna work. This here, your child is like 15 fries short of a Happy Meal. And I need you to fix that. That works for me. Yes, I still reverence God. Yes, I still acknowledge him. I thank him. I ask forgiveness. But I talk to God like I talk to my friends. I just get ugly. I get blunt. I get stupid. But I feel so much better afterwards. And I know he wants that honesty from all of us on every level. The deepest, darkest recesses of your heart. What things really bother you? What has you angry? What has you hurt? Tell him. Yeah, he know, but he wants you to tell him. He wants you to open your mouth and speak. Speak. Don't hold it in. Tell him. Changes. We don't like change. We don't like it. We get used to things. We get comfortable. There's that comfort, that box. 9.5 times out of 10 when it comes to God, you're going to be uncomfortable. That's the place where your greatest blessing is. In those uncomfortable things, you would be so surprised at how God will use you if you just let it. I remember when I taught that first adult Sunday school a couple of weeks ago, I was scared. I wasn't scared. I was scared. I was nervous. I had my notes and I was talking, and a lot of stuff I said, I recall it as clear as day. There were things I had not intended to say, and I know that was God. I know it was. And after the class, I had people, you couldn't have paid me to think that they would come to me and say, I really got something out of that lesson this morning. That's something I really needed to hear this morning. I take no credit for it. I give God all the glory because I know it was him. And I'm grateful that he chose to use me. But I had to step out of my comfort zone. Mind you, I've been told for well over a year to step up and teach. Tip wasn't trying to do it. I like my box. But I had to step out of my box. And I've learned the being out of the box isn't so bad. Which is why I've been destroying the box. I've been tearing the box up, doing something different to sit here and talk to y'all. No. It's much easier for me because you don't have to see my face. And I don't have to say anything. I type. But it was suggested by somebody that I hold near and dear. Won't you do videos? Okay. You can see my facial expressions. You can see my hair. And you can see me and all my cuckoo. But I'm okay. Because I like it. And God loves it. And you do too, if you're honest. Anywho, we got to learn to get over the not liking changes. Trust God. Even when you don't get it, trust Him. What does He tell us? Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. You don't have to know. You just have to do it. I had a friend tell me once, and I love her, that my issue is I want to know everything. When it comes to God, I want to see the whole picture. She said, but you know what the problem is? Even if He shows you the whole picture, you're still not going to be satisfied. Well, what, God, why I got to go through this? And why are we doing this like this over here? So it's just going to create more problems, more questions. So I'm learning day by day, trusting. And sometimes it's moment by moment. And I literally have to open my mouth and go, God, it's okay. I trust you. God, you got it. I trust you. Not easy for me, a single mom, raising, well, I'm not single anymore, but I raised my children by myself for the longest. I learned to depend on me, not trusting God like I should. So it's a battle sometimes, and I'm okay, God, I'm gonna trust you, God. And the more I trust Him, He shows me every time. I told you I had it. I told you I got you. Sometimes it's not the way I want it, but it's taken care of. It's done. And it's always better because it's His plan. You need to learn to trust Him. Trust Him even when it don't make sense. It look crazy. You looking cockeyed. Not trust Him anyway. Pay attention for God in the little things. Like I talked about earlier, the most mundane of tasks. Look for Him. Look for His presence. Look for His hand. You'd be surprised. You'd be so surprised. Just tell Him, God, I want to see you. I want to know you there. Where you at? Ask Him, where you at? He'll give you an answer. You might be surprised at what He says or where He shows up. Last but not least, radical obedience. In the book, Lysa makes the comment that that's my daughter. Okay. That radical obedience isn't really all that radical. It's what we should be doing anyway, but it seems radical because it's just so hard. It's so difficult. It's so different. Do it. She was obedient in something, giving someone a Bible. You never know who needs that hug that God is telling you to go give and why. Or why you may need to speak to somebody. Why you may need to turn left at the light instead of right. Why you may need to wear your long pants instead of your shorts. Why you don't need to put your hair in a ponytail. Who cares? Be obedient about it. Learn to just say, yes, God. Be honest with Him. God, I really don't understand why you want me to do this, but okay. God, I really don't understand why you want me to say this, but okay. God, I really don't understand why you want me to go over there, but okay. You have to learn to be obedient. Bottom line. It's really all I have in my notes. I've really enjoyed this first chapter. I'm looking forward to chapter 2 and what I'm going to get out of it. I'll post some questions later that I've picked out. I hope you all are enjoying your reading thus far. Please ask questions, make comments, make your own videos. This is for all of us. It's about all of us. This is a journey for all of us. We are on this journey together. I can't walk your walk and you can't walk mine. But we can stand on the sidelines and we can cheer each other on. As iron sharpens iron. That's what we need to do. And that's the purpose. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. We can all get new, fresh perspectives on how to be better, how to do better, and how to grow. So, I'm looking forward to your comments, your questions, your witty insight, whatever. Just share. And once I read some more and I get some more, I'll give you some more. I get some questions up, and we're just going to have fun with this book. That's the whole goal. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much for your almost 15 minutes of time. I'm gonna get better at this, and hopefully the videos won't be so long, but we gonna see. Thank you, ladies. Have an awesome day.